in the quarters, among them Osun me.
I am Couchgoop and welcome to my Rollerdrome review. This game is out on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Game Pass release recently, and it can run at 120 frames per second and that beautiful 4K. Did I do that? Did I F? 7 years, 17,000 subscribers. You don't have to listen to Raid Shadow Legends or Raycon. You've got to drop me a like and a sub for that. And iShowSpeed just got to 7 million. Man, he's good.
I really didn't.
Let me tell you a little bit about Roll 7. They started as one of my favourite indie developers. They gave us a 4-player, like side-scrolling Tony Hawk's that is still played today by me and my friends. Local 4-player co-op. It just featured on the list. It was stunning. It also gave us Laser League, which was another 4-player amazing game. That was in my recent sports games that aren't FIFA or PES local co-op list. Then they just moved on from their local co-op community and came out with an online side-scrolling version of Oli Oli. So decidedly disgruntled. You always see it. The Halo series was born in local co-op, and I was thinking the other day, I wonder if that COD series would have done as well back then if it didn't offer local co-op out of the gate. Obviously, all the above have got rid of it. Just a quick amendment there. COD has only got rid of its local co-op on the campaign. That was the best goddamn thing. Where's the 4-player? I really tried to not like this game. I really didn't want this to be as good as it is, and it's actually unbelievable. Just like the title suggests, you've got Max Payne, you've got Tony Hawk's, which is split screen, reviewed on the channel. Absolutely amazing, to be fair. This game feels like it should have been made by Platinum, and these visuals and some of those textures, they don't put you off. There's so much more to what you're being shown, really, with its graphical fidelity. If you've played Hawks or even the Oli Oli games, you'll be totally at home with this half-pipe setup. Even the grinding is on Y button, but there's no sort of manual toggle. You can just ride it right through. Because you're getting shot at constantly, you can't really rinse these moves. You have to keep moving, and that brings me on to the gameplay model itself. The last time I played something this exhilarating was probably Bayonetta 2 over on my Wii U. No, I'm not buying a Switch copy. For a semi-indie title, I have never played anything this strong this year, and what snubbery at Game Awards. I didn't see it get mentioned maybe once on some like strange category, but this should have cleared up. There's barely anything out there that's this good on the indie front and this satisfying with all of its mechanics. I'm gonna go stop and rush deep with them, maybe too soon. It's something when you're playing it, you're thinking, I can't believe this is not done before. It kind of was in parts with Jet Set Radio, but this is so fresh feeling, and the AAA treatment on something like this, better particles, higher resolution, more depth on the skill trees and weapons, I think we might have discovered the ultimate roller shooter. And that's important. That's what it is essentially. It's a shooter, thoroughbred, through and through. I thought it might be related to sort of tricks and scores, but no, the ammunition is fed by how outlandish the moves are that you pull off. So you always think in the back of your mind, I need some room, some space to fill up the clip, to do some amazing flips and turns. Your magazine just gets refilled on that respect. So it's about surviving, but the trick system is embedded into your ammo replenish setup, which I think is a stroke of genius. Once you're comfortable with everything, because you can't actually stop, you really start trying to crunch the time down, getting those combos, which becomes very important. Taking a hit is like a no-no. So you're immediately into its meta. What I mean by that is after the first level, you're like, I want to do that again because I straight up know I could do it better and I really enjoyed myself. Few games do that nowadays. You're like, okay, let's just get on with level 2. No, with this, you're like, I need to hone my skills to get that score up. Unlike Tony Hawk's, there's no punish on mucking a trick up. You can be careering towards the ground head first and you'll flip back round. You just won't earn the pointage that you would have done landing that thing cleanly. And there's a time dodge which also blesses you with extra slowdown and ammunition. So it does pay to leave things to the last minute. So much Bayonetta and Vanquish in here with that system, so you're smiling everywhere. Unlike Max Payne, the slowdown is not earned, it's just spent and it replenishes if you leave it alone, and it's on L2, so it's not a complicated button system. This game made my damn hands hurt. First game this year where I thought, Christ, put the pad down for a bit, have a cup of coffee and just have a break, because you are just wrestling with trying to get efficient and make everything look cool AF, which it just does off the bat anyway. Next layer is the weapon differential. So you can see that there's starter twin pistols which are relatively rangy, but you get given a shotgun which has a sweet spot delay on it, but its range is smaller. It does have an auto aim box system, which disturbed me at first. I was like, no, I know what I'm doing, but you need it because you're too busy worrying about flipping around, and it also decides the range for you. So you might need to get closer to things to implement that shotgun shell.
Match victory.
You might also remember on Tony Hawk's, if you had a situation with a quarter pipe that you wanted to go over and not up, you would implement a button and you just go literally straight through it. You can do this with an L button. It does add complications. Some levels have more than one section and a chasm that separates areas. It's not insta-kill or death, but it does affect your score. So you need to keep your eyes open for massive gaps. Smashing through the windows and John wooing it into a certain area and then just getting out there again with a backflip to replenish your ammo. I've played no indie game this year that has come close to this sort of high octane action, and I've just re-reviewed that RoboQuest, which I thought was pretty fast and furious. This makes it look elderly. The third weapon you get is a grenade launcher, and it takes off the lock-on system. So I was talking about not needing that before. You kind of really miss it when you're manually aiming for stuff. It's devastating in effect and really puts a lot of the bigger enemies back a bit. Tougher foes will put down shields. You'll see a separate yellow bar which is a resistance, and again that's temporary, so you just need to piss off, come back, and they'll be ready for some fresh bullets. The game adds 4 stages at the beginning, which gives you some challenges in there, and you're actually obligated to do them to open stuff up, and getting C, B and A grades is also a major challenge because you have to map out the whole level, you have to know where things are going to spawn in. That in itself is like a cool memory game. Adding in mechs also is perfectly timed with the game. They sort of take center stage. Sometimes they come in right at the end and you really have to focus down and work out the best method of refilling and going to deal huge damage to these things. It also comes in with an end of stage boss that really blew my mind how they implemented the mechanics with taking it down. What about health replenish? Again, handled well. The smaller grunts or anything really you kill off will drop some green bits that you need to be on location to pick up. They don't just swing towards you. So there's that little bit of risk reward. You've got to take stuff out, really concentrate if you want to build your health back up. Being reckless does get you the kills, but all of a sudden you'll look up and you're at 16%. I do like the art. It's got a sort of Eastern cyberpunk look. The enemies are pretty amazing. There's a definite sort of netrunner thing going on. Stuff teleports around. The universe is pretty cool. Back to that conversation about what if this was made on a AAA basis. The mind boggles. I mean, the particles, the speed and the resolution you could get, and the textures, the way that whole map could look, enemies, it just would really benefit from a full budget treatment. We're actually looking at the 4th weapon here, which is a sniper shot, and you can build it. Again, there is no focus, so you just have to do it ad hoc. It does feel quite cool, and there's rangeless reach on it, so those annoying little snipers on the other side of the map that you'd have to laboriously skate over towards, you can just snap off from the other side, and it does work. It feels great. Also, it would have benefited from a class system, opening up different outfits or having different characters, maybe with speeds. The AAA treatment would be so amazing for this game. So congratulations Roll7, you made a really good video game. Can you start making local co-op games again, please? I have been Couch Coop. I will see you down there.
quarters.